Okay, good morning. Morning. Morning, Trustee Citra. Excellent, thank you very much. We'll see you in a few minutes how it's going. Good morning, my name's Patrick Enright. I'm the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Workforce Development, and Student Success here at the college, which basically means if we teach it, I'm responsible. If the students aren't successful, I'm responsible. Of course, if they are successful, somebody else gets credit for that. Thank you for being here to share in this milestone event for our CCM campus. The Center for Entrepreneurship and Culinary Science, designed by NK Architects and built by Brockwell and Carrington, spans 11,325 square feet and represents a groundbreaking collaboration between the college, the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, and local businesses, designed to fuel innovative learning and economic opportunity for students, entrepreneurs, and the broader community. Within this new space, CCM will offer new and expanded programs in business and culinary science, creating pathways for entrepreneurs and community members who are seeking to launch or strengthen their local businesses, supporting the economic growth of Morris County and beyond. And now what I'd like to do is recognize our distinguished guests and thank them for being here, and also simultaneously invite them to the front of the room for our official ribbon cutting. Senator Anthony Bucco. Assemblywoman Ora Dunn. Assemblyman Michael Nganamort. Assemblywoman Marissa Sweeney. Commissioner Director Stephen Shaw. Commissioner Director John Krikis. Commissioner Thomas Mastrangelo. Morris County Surrogate Heather Darling. County Administrator Dina Leary. Assistant County Commissioner Brian Murray. Ann Grassi, County Clerk. Dr. Anita Champagne, Morris County Vocational School District Superintendent. Morris County Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Megan Huncher. Randolph Township Mayor Mark Forstenhausler. Deputy Mayor Lou Nisavaccia. Randolph Town Councilman Joe Hathaway. Mount Olive Mayor Joe Nicastro. And Lisa Brett, Assistant to the Mayor. CCM Past President Edward Yaw, Dr. Edward Yaw. President of the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, Dr. Aaron Fichtner. CCM Board of Trustees Chair, Paul Citra. CCM Trustees Vice Chair, Laura Nganamort. Secretary of the Board of Trustees, Donna Pepe. And CCM Trustees, Barbara Hadzima, Jim Lovies, and Hector Mislowski. CCM Foundation Board members, Ed Nelson and Wilson Velasquez. I'd like to invite our CCM cabinet members up for the picture as well, and then also the CCM business faculty and culinary faculty. Oh, he wasn't on the list. Oh, okay, I forgot my boss, the president of the County College of Morris, Dr. Anthony Iacono. Also, we'd like to invite Mr. David Burke up for the ribbon cutting.
So, perhaps you can stand on the hearth over there. The scissors are behind everybody.
Stand behind Paul. Turn this off. Turn that off in case.
Yeah, I've got to watch somebody else.
I knew this crowd was tough. Hi, Dina, how you doing?
Let's see my eyebrows.
So the only note I have is hold the camera. You can position your head between the head in front of you. That would be great. But I'm just going to give a smile to everybody. That would be good. I might put this one in my wallet. Standard joke. There you go. All right. Whatever you're ready.
And a little note, we're a teaching institution. To any students that are here, anytime you're giving a speech, it's really important to acknowledge your boss, and so that was a fail. I would now like to invite to the podium CCM business major, president of the Business Society, and president of Alpha Beta Gamma, Sebastian Perez Brid, to share a few words.
First and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to my boss, Professor Q. Just want to get that out of the way. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and faculty. My name is Sebastian Perez Brid. I'm a graduating student pursuing a dual major in business administration and broadcasting arts and technology. I chose CCM because I wanted a place where I could grow both academically and personally. Somewhere that would give me real opportunities to lead, create, and build something meaningful. CCM has given me exactly that. As a business student, I've had the opportunity to take courses in accounting, marketing, management, and economics that have truly shaped the way I've viewed business. I still remember the first day of classes, running across campus, because I was late, of course, and being taught by the wonderful Professor Miller. In that class, I learned two important lessons: accounting and time management. Throughout my time at CCM, professors have consistently encouraged me to think critically, take initiative, and I began seeing myself as a future professional. Outside of the classroom, my experience at CCM has been just as impactful. Serving as the president of the Business Society and Alpha Beta Gamma has allowed me to put what I've learned into practice, from organizing financial workshops and guest speaking events to leading fundraisers. I've gained firsthand experience in coordinating teams, managing budgets, and bringing ideas to life. One of my most memorable moments was seeing our club fully sell out our Wooden Roses fundraiser and raise significant funds for the ABG Scholarship. None of that would have been possible with our fellow Business Society officers and, of course, Professor Q, who showed me how collaboration, planning, and leadership can create real results. In addition to business, my studies in the broadcasting arts and technology have allowed me to explore storytelling, production, and creative leadership. I've always been passionate in filmmaking, and working in the studio and collaborating with other students has shown me that places like the Media Center at CCM are a great tool for students to dedicate for innovation and collaboration. That's why today is such a monumental moment. The Center for Entrepreneurship and Culinary Science represents something far more than classrooms or new equipment. It represents opportunity. It represents innovation. And most importantly, it represents a place where students could turn ideas into reality. As someone studying business, I've always been inspired by entrepreneurship. The ability to take an idea and build it into something meaningful. Create opportunities not just for yourself, but for your community. One day I hope to be an entrepreneur and build ventures that combine business leadership with creative and innovation. Spaces like this center make those dreams feel possible. They give students resources, mentorship, and collaborative environments needed to explore ideas and take risks, and develop the confidence to build something of their own. My hope is that this center is where students discover their passions and take one step toward becoming the next generation of entrepreneurs. Because the next great business, the next great idea, the next Steve Jobs can happen right here in this building. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Please join me now in welcoming New Jersey State Senator Anthony Bucco.
So I learned one thing this morning after that ribbon cutting. We didn't make this room big enough. This gives a whole new meaning to a fireside chat, right? What a beautiful facility. You know, I spend a lot of time here on campus, and every time I come here, I think to myself, you know, good things are always happening at CCM. You can use that if you want in your marketing stuff. But it's true. Good things are always happening here, right? You look around and you look at how far we've come here. These opportunities that students have here in Morris County, students don't get at four-year universities. And they're getting them right here in Morris County at a community college, right? Where they can afford it. And they can get a career path, right? That's what it's all about. Think about this today. Think about the students today that are going to come through this program with the opportunity to get into the hospitality industry, become entrepreneurs, partnerships with the Morris County Chamber. Other kids aren't given this opportunity. But here in Morris County, here at CCM, our kids are getting these opportunities. And that's something everybody in this room should be proud of. You know, but these buildings don't just happen. It doesn't just happen. It takes collaboration and commitment from the students, right? Listen to that young student who just talked just a couple minutes ago, right? His dream of becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a success in his life. Got that here. It takes commitment from the faculty, right? You look around and you see the wonderful teachers and professors that are here that give their time to these young students, right? It takes the administration here to have a vision. You know, Dr. Yaw, I saw Dr. Yaw before. He laid the foundation. Dr. Acona came in and built on that great foundation. It takes the commissioners who've invested here, right? They've recognized the return on investment and are willing to put their money where their mouth is. It takes the state. And let me tell you, you guys make my job easy down there. When I go looking for money, it's not easy. It's not easy getting money out of Trenton, especially on my side of the aisle. But let me tell you, you make it easy because people see the return on investment. And then it takes the federal government, right? Everybody rowing in the same direction. Doesn't matter what party we're from or what our backgrounds are. We're here for the kids. And that's what it's all about. And the jobs that are created when good things are happening here, right? Every time I go by, I see the building and construction trades out there working away, making this campus what it is today and what it will be for the future, for the next generation. And that's our responsibility, is to the next generation. And I can tell you, when you walk out of here today, everyone that's been involved can take a minute, take a breath, and say, you know what? We did the right thing, and the next generation is on sound footing. I'm honored to be here. Thank you to everybody that's in this room for everything you've done to make today the success that it is. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Bucco, for your continuous and unwavering support of our college. I'd now like to invite up Assemblywoman Ora Dunn.
Maybe we're not detaching that, okay. I'm not really a podium person, because I used to wait on tables, used to host on tables, house tables actually. And I just want to first open with thanking the staff for the fabulous coordination of this event. I've never had a name tag on the floor before like that, but wonderful. And if I could ask everyone to help our team here, don't let your name tags fall on the floor. We're going to reuse those again. And that might even be as soon as next week, right, President? We joke about how there's so much going on at the college that I feel like I'm here on a regular basis, and love it to see that progress. This is a great day. I want to start with congratulations, and knowing that we are surpassing, the culinary school is actually, dare I say it, surpassing the famed Culinary Institute up in upstate New York. You know, they always say that New Jersey's a little, we follow New York. Not today. So congratulations on that. I was reflecting, I was just coming over, because when I think of my role as a public servant, right? Of course, it begins with education and advocacy. But really, at the end of the day, I want to believe that I brought people together, and we left feeling accomplished, maybe even happy. I do try to make everyone happy. Then I started realizing, wait, we need more chefs in politics. Because truly, you bring people together, right? This is a field that is only growing, bringing very gainful jobs to the economy, the local economy. And it's not something that we'll see ever be surpassed by AI. This is the human field. This is about bringing people together. It's about connection. So I want to thank and really wish the best of luck. I'm sorry, I'm scanning the audience because I'm looking for some students. Can you raise your hands? Yeah, one, you're late, all right. Know that it's way beyond recipes, right? Again, it's bringing people together, bringing experiences, and serving and leading. And thank you for that. And best of luck. That's all I have to say now, because I know we've got quite a lineup here. Thank you again. Thank you to the board, president, faculty, administration, and one last shout out to the phenomenal team, always bringing things together here, and save those nameplates here. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Dunn. And now we're honored to welcome Assemblyman Michael Nganamore.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you all for being here and allowing me to share a few words. You know, New Jersey and Morris County are served by some truly extraordinary institutions of higher learning and businesses and otherwise. But I've found that the way to identify the really, really good ones, this is a free tip, is to figure out who is the vice chair of the board and how she cuts a ribbon. So nice job, Lauren. It's among the reasons the County College of Morris is #1 in New Jersey and way high at the top of the list in the entire United States of America. The reality and primary reason this institution continues to succeed year after year is because it has the full trust and faith and support of a Morris County Commissioner Board that, as Senator Bucco just said, understands the return on investment, the actual dollars that come back to our Morris County and New Jersey economy on account of the investments that are made in this institution. And what is most extraordinary is the way that the administration of this school, yes, its board, but also its exceptional faculty and really, really impressive student body, take that faith that has been placed in them by Morris County and do extraordinary things. So congratulations on a job well done. See you down the road in a couple of months, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblyman Ganamore. It's my pleasure to now introduce Assemblywoman Marissa Sweeney.
Thank you. When I learned about this center, I couldn't have been more excited, I have to tell you, just because by trade, I'm a dietitian with an absolute love of the culinary arts, and I've been a small business owner for a little over 15 years now. So I was like, this is absolutely perfect. And it's something I really, truly wish that I had available to me, programming such like this. In the early years of me trying to open up my business and trying to figure it out and the struggle that comes along with it, I would have been, honestly, the first student to sign up for some of your programming. It's a real benefit, not only to the students that are here and the people that have entrepreneurial dreams and the people that have that creative streak within them that they want to realize, but it benefits us. It benefits the community in such a huge way. When you bring together research and evidence-based strategies and plans for entrepreneurship, pairing that with creativity and ingenuity and the arts, I really, truly, honestly believe that that is where the magic happens of the businesses that succeed tomorrow. It's going to shape our downtowns. It's going to make our communities more vibrant. These are our business owners of tomorrow, and their dreams are being fostered here. Their goals are being realized here in a way that makes them the most successful to do so. And I think we've all seen examples likely where maybe somebody really excels in the arts, but maybe can use a little bit of help in the entrepreneurship end, and vice versa. So when you marry these things together from a scientific approach, it really is where the magic happens. And it's the small businesses that you're going to see become the large businesses of tomorrow. So not only are we fostering the dreams of students, I was going to say young people, but honestly, it could be any age. You can reinvent yourself at any age. So not only are we fostering the dreams of students that come here, but we all, as members of the community, of people that live and work and play in Morris County, get to benefit from this. We get to reap the benefits from it. And that formula is right on brand with everything that CCM does. You create programs that benefit and integrate in our communities that not very many universities across the United States, not very many community colleges across the United States can truly say that they do as effectively as you. So congratulations, Dr. Iacono, congratulations on such a beautiful center, on such a great, valuable programming that you're bringing to the students here in the community. And congratulations to everybody that was involved. I know it takes a great team to pull something like this together and have it be successful, and it's my honor to be able to speak at an event like this. So thank you.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Sweeney. It's my pleasure now to invite Dr. Aaron Fichtner, President of the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, to the podium.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is truly an honor to be here, and on behalf of the 18 community colleges that the council brings together, we offer our sincere congratulations on this amazing step forward for this institution and for this county and this region. So I want to say congratulations to President Iacono and the leadership here at CCM. Congratulations to the incredibly visionary Board of Trustees. Thank you for your leadership of this college. And thank you to the commissioners of this county that have supported this college. Thank you to our state elected officials for standing with community colleges and embracing the vision that together we can create more opportunities and create more jobs. It's because of innovations like this center here today that we celebrate that New Jersey's community colleges have a $12.8 billion impact on the state's economy. Together, community colleges support 135,000 jobs across the state because of the investments that are made in these institutions. That's 1 in every 46 jobs in New Jersey can be traced to the important work, the visionary work of community colleges. I got to know this institution when I served as Deputy Commissioner of Labor under Commissioner Wirtz in the Christie administration, and then as Commissioner, and developed a deep respect for this institution. But over the last 8 years as President of the Council of County Colleges, I've had the honor of having a front row seat to the transformation of this institution over the years. And so I want to thank President Iacono and his team for being a beacon, for being a visionary that inspires all 18 community colleges across the state and ensures that together we are helping to create more opportunities, that we are aligning our curriculum with the needs of employers. We're building partnerships that expand opportunity. So congratulations to everyone here. Thank you to the incredible leadership and faculty at County College of Morris and all of you here who are going to make sure that this center continues to transform lives in this county, grows jobs, and strengthens the economy. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you, Aaron. And now I'd like to invite up Commissioner Director Stephen Shaw.
Thank you. Wow, I mean, this is incredible. And I'm a builder and very, very impressive. And I mean, the garage doors, you can bring a lot of food in through those doors, I imagine. Unbelievable. I think this is probably, I've been to a lot of ribbon cuttings. The only ribbon cutting where I think half the audience is really secretly here for the food and not the ribbon cutting. And I've been a lifelong consumer of the culinary arts. So, honestly, I get that and I respect that tremendously. So it's really my pleasure to be here on behalf of the Morris County Board of County Commissioners for this ribbon cutting for the Center of Entrepreneurship and Culinary Sciences. Joining me today, Deputy Director John Krikis, Commissioner Tom Mastrangelo, as well as our Administrator Dina Leary, Assistant Administrator Brian Murray, and also from the county we have our Clerk Ann Grassi, who is an alum of CCM. She was telling me when she was here there was 2 buildings in it? 4 buildings, okay. So how it's grown, and we also have our surrogate, Heather Darling, is here. I want to, I'm going to keep my remarks brief because I don't want to overdo it with this crowd. When I heard Chef David Burke was going to be here, though, I really was expecting to see bacon hanging on the ribbon here. That would have really been impressive, and I would have appreciated that, but maybe next time. So I want to start by thanking Dr. Iacono, the Board of Trustees, our partners in the Morris County Vocational School District, the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, our state legislators, especially Senator Anthony Bucco, who is always here, and everyone who helped make this vision a reality. Projects like this are the result of a bipartisan cooperation focused on one shared priority: investing in our students and the future of Morris County. I remember when this project was first announced in 2021 and having the honor of participating in the groundbreaking in 2023. Yeah, these projects take a long time to go from vision to reality. Today, we're at the ribbon cutting on a facility representing a nearly $12 million investment with $4.6 million from the county and $7.3 million from the state. Many times people ask me about my job as a county commissioner and they say, what's it like? What have you done that you're really proud of? And I was just adding up with Commissioner Krikis because he's the numbers guy on the board. So since I've been on the board, and it's only been 6.5 years, there has been over an $80 million investment in buildings and facilities on this campus. And that truly is my most rewarding part of this job of being a Morris County Commissioner. And I know I share that with all of my colleagues. When we work together, we build things that last a lifetime and have an impact on generations to come and their families. Morris County is now home to more than 33,000 businesses, nearly 1,000 of which opened or expanded in the last year alone. Companies choose Morris County for our skilled workforce, strong transportation network, competitive taxes, and a stable, predictable business climate. And that's a real recipe for success in today's world. To keep the momentum going, we need talent, innovators, and entrepreneurs. With the Career Training Center opening last fall, the Advanced Manufacturing Center that opened in 2021, and the new Center for Health Professionals slated to open next year, CCM has become a hub for career-focused education, giving students the chance to find a path that suits their taste. They can pursue a degree, entering the workforce quickly, or start a business of their own. Entrepreneurship matters now more than ever. Industries evolve. Technology advances. The ability to adapt, innovate, and build from the ground up is a skill that never gets stale. Someone who runs a general contracting business, I can tell you, mastering your craft is only half the battle. You must be able to sift through a lot of ideas to come up with a secret sauce that will define your brand. You also need budgeting, marketing, logistics, consumer service, and so many other skills only a quality college like this can instill. That's why this center is such a game changer. It blends culinary creativity with real-world business skills. Students won't just learn to bake an artisan bread or master advanced pastry teachings. They'll also learn to write a business plan, manage inventory, build a brand, all while keeping the ovens hot and the lights on. This education will prepare them not just to get jobs, but to create them, opening restaurants, launching catering companies, leading hospitality teams, serving up the next generation of innovators, chefs, and business leaders right here in Morris County. And when they grow up in Morris County, they learn in Morris County, studies show they stay in Morris County. So on behalf of the Morris County Board of County Commissioners, congratulations to CCM and all of the cooks in the kitchen who made this possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Shaw. For those of you that were following along in the program, you realized I got them out of order. You know, people are out there thinking he had one job. He had one job. See if I can get back on track here. Now, please join me in welcoming President and CEO of the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Megan Huncher.
Thank you, Patrick. Isn't this an amazing space? It's really incredible. As my Gen Z and Alpha children would say, it's definitely giving off boss vibes, right? They'll say I'm cringy, but it's really extraordinary. 10 years in the making, Tony. Really, we started talking about this, I think, the day you started at CCM and we met, and it's really wonderful to see it all come together. So as Patrick said, I have the honor and privilege of serving as the president and CEO of the Morris County Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Corporation. We also have the county's tourism bureau affiliated with the chamber as well. And it's truly a pleasure to stand here today before all of you as we celebrate this milestone, this opening of this new space, the Center for Entrepreneurship at the County College of Morris, a place that represents opportunity, provides space for collaboration. It's vital to the future of our county and regional economy, a $70 billion with a B economy. As Commissioner Shaw said, over 30,000 businesses and nonprofit organizations. And at the Chamber and EDC, we talk about the power of connection, and that what we do is we do business with people we know, that we like, and we trust. And in order to build those connections, we need a space. We need a space where people can come together, whether in person, virtually, hybrid. And this center is more than just a building. It is a launching pad for ideas, a meeting place for collaboration with the whiteboards and this office space, and a resource for anyone with the courage to start something new, no matter what their age. And at the Morris County Chamber and EDC, we're fortunate to have the support of the county commissioners, and we have quite a few initiatives underway. We have a business and community guide that we publish every year, a relocation guide, a visitor guide. You can find that all on our website. And we have a number of special project initiatives, and we're interviewing consultants from all over the country. And in doing their due diligence, all they can say is, wow, wow. Wow, what an amazing place that Morris County is. And when I get calls from people, whether again they're consultants or residents or visitors, saying, I had no idea what was here. And that's our job, right? That's our job, to be the ambassadors for this county, this incredible place, to spread the word about what we have here, and to share that. And again, I'm fortunate that in Tony, I found a leader, an educator with a shared vision to create pathways for students of any age to realize their dreams, to create and innovate to support small and mid-sized business growth and empower the next generation of business founders. And the reason that the Morris County Chamber is 105 years old, we just had our birthday, is because of businesses like Murata Scientific in Montville, which now owns multiple businesses throughout the county. It started with one man in a dream after World War II and now employs hundreds of people. Or Ferring Pharmaceuticals, a life science company from Switzerland that wanted to expand in Morris County and had 5 people in Parsippany, now has a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility and works closely with the Chamber and CCM. And I can go on and on, or whether it's Big State Sports, which has a presence here on the CCM campus that started as a side gig and now provides for a number of employees and interns. So the list goes on, and it's really, really extraordinary what is being done in the county. The original word for entrepreneur was a very long German word that meant wild horse. Fortunately, we now have the word entrepreneur, and I prefer to call them courageous visionaries. And I know firsthand that entrepreneurs are built differently. My father was a chef who opened his own business, and I love to say my father was from the CIA. And while hard work, yes, there is in being an entrepreneur and growing up, being afraid of falling in to some of those large mixers and wearing his hat, there's incredible joy and freedom to share your talents. As Adam Smith eloquently says, succinctly wrote, to meet a need. The market transforms our self-interest into a mechanism for the public good, ensuring that societal needs are efficiently fulfilled. And it's the spirit, the energy of the people in this place that drives capitalism and the beneficial multiplier effects, whether it's to support the local deli or the child care center down the road, or the insurance companies, which we all know we need insurance, our investment firms as well. So we all come together to create this fantastic economy that we call Morris County. And eventually those wild horses, those courageous visionaries, will need a business plan. And when we meet with and counsel businesses, we hear about their success, truly, but also the many questions and challenges that they have, the desire to scale on a realistic timeline, how to approach a lender, who will invest in me, who will invest in my dream, how do I invest in myself and my business? What documents do I need? The best approach to hiring the next generation, retaining the best talent. How do I adopt the ever-evolving technology, right? AI, front and center right now. Regulations, and the list goes on. And so in our planning meetings with CCM, we're exploring all of these topics, leveraging the members of the chamber, of the business community to do so, and to increase the likelihood of success of those businesses, because that's the goal, is to keep them in business, to thrive, and to expand. So as we all know, education is vital. It is economic development, and I thank all of you at CCM for your commitment to workforce development to make this center possible, for the elected officials who've supported us on this path. The community colleges, Dr. Fickner said, play a vital role in connecting talent, training, and real-world opportunity. And this center is a powerful extension of that mission. We are deeply grateful to the state and county leaders for public service and investment in this project demonstrates a strong belief in the power of entrepreneurship. And public investment like this signals confidence in the people, in the ideas, your constituents who will grow here, who will stay here, and who will ensure for generations to come that Morris County remains the vanguard of the best place to live, work, play, to start and grow a business. And at the Chamber of Commerce and EDC, we are excited to help bring the center to life. I know I'm personally excited to be coming here on a more regular basis to help develop our speaker series, our leadership series, our seminar series, connecting experienced business leaders with aspiring entrepreneurs students who can learn directly from those who have built and grown businesses in our region. And together, through our partnerships and shared commitment, we can create this special place, a community of courageous visionaries whose ideas will come to life. And I do want to thank Randolph Township before I close for their partnership on what we hope will be a successful farm to table event with the Culinary Center. And I'd like to acknowledge Mary Jude Haddock-Wilder from the Highlands, who is with us. Mary Jude has been a pioneer in allocating resources from the Highlands to economic development initiatives, and we thank you for that. So thank you again for being with us today and sharing in this vision.
Thank you, Megan. And now invite up our Vice Chair of the CCM Board of Trustees, Lauren Inganamore.
Thank you, Patrick. I personally enjoyed your going out of order a little bit, kept us all on our toes. We weren't sure what was going to happen next. Aaron, you did a great job. You were right there. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is truly an honor to be here to celebrate the opening of this beautiful space and the entire Center for Entrepreneurship and Culinary Sciences. With me today from the Board of Trustees, I have Chair Paula Citra, just back from Florida, nice and tan. I have Treasurer Donna Pepe, Dr. Barbara Hadzima, Justin Lash, and Jim Levies. As we celebrate another exciting milestone in CCM's history, it's important to remember that this building represents far more than a new center. It represents a shared belief that education is connected to opportunity and that learning is connected to real careers. It is a reflection that our institution is, by design, deeply connected to the community that it serves. To our faculty, staff, and administration, this center reflects your vision, commitment, and dedication to our students. You are the ones who turn ideas into programs and programs into life-changing opportunities. For our students, it is a place where creativity drives ideas, ideas develop into passion, where passion meets preparation, and where ambition meets possibility. Whether you are serving others through culinary hospitality, launching a new business, developing business skills, or discovering your purpose, this center exists to support your journey. To our community and industry partners, we wouldn't be here without you. This center is yours too. It stands as a symbol of collaboration between education, business, innovation, and workforce development. The partnerships represented here today are what make this institution strong and this region, Morris County, thrive. And to my fellow trustees, this project reflects our shared responsibility to invest not just in buildings, but in people, in potential, and in progress. The Center for Entrepreneurship and Culinary Science is a promise to our students, a promise to our community, and a promise to the future of Morris County. Thank you to everyone who helped bring this vision to life. We want to especially thank our state legislators and county commissioners. We would not be here without you, and today we aren't just cutting a ribbon, we are opening doors. Congratulations and welcome to a new chapter.
Thank you, Lauren. We are honored today to have as our keynote speaker internationally acclaimed celebrity chef David Burke. Fueled by passion, grit, and a knack for artful innovation, David Burke is one of the best known and most respected chefs in modern American cuisine. In addition to being an internationally celebrated chef, Burke is a restaurateur, artist, philanthropist, business person, author, educator, art collector, U.S. patent holder, and has an honorary doctor in business administration. He was also the first and remains the only American to win France's most prestigious culinary award. More recently, he is a New Jersey Hall of Fame inductee. Going off script, next thing you know, he'll have a rest stop on the Garden State Parkway. David Burke Hospitality Management Team owns or orchestrates the culinary component of dozens of restaurants and a bakery, and oversees various products, including cookware, bakeware, steak sauce, and cutlery. Please welcome David Burke to the podium.
Thank you. Who said bacon earlier? Those scissors you had, you can cut a lot of bacon. Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you. And I can say that I've been to a few of these, and I've never seen so many good speakers and enthusiastic and proud speakers for this center. And it was nice to meet you earlier. And one of the most important things I heard so far is that it's affordable to go to school here. And one of the problems that we have with culinary schools like the CIA, which I went to. I'd like to know who your dad is, by the way. And I went there in 1980 when they could still hit you, those chefs. And it was good discipline. But it was $15,000 for 2 years to learn how to cook. And that's what we wanted to do, is learn the craft of culinary. We didn't even think about entrepreneur, because being a chef in the 1970s, when I started to cook, I was a dishwasher. I was a freshman in high school, and I became a dishwasher. And I just loved it. And I was in a kitchen with some Vietnam vets, hippies, people of different walks of life that were just colorful. They played music, they smoked, they drank beer, but they worked. And they worked together as a team. And they have this phrase in the restaurants where you serve the family meal. And it was like a family. And it was like a band. It was like a team. And it still exists that way. And that's part of the enthusiasm. And when people work in restaurants, someone said she was a waitress or something. There's this glue that holds you together, and you go in and it's excitement. And then for the young students coming out, there's a lot of excitement. It's a respected field now. When I told my father I wanted to be a chef, he was not happy. You think about 1976. What did you have? IHOP? You know, you didn't have. What was in Morris County? I mean, really, where did you work, right? And so he sat me down. He was upset, and he said to me, you know, it's the 70s. He said, David, his name's David too, by the way. He said, you might not know this, but I know you smoke pot. And he says, I just didn't realize how much. So we got past that. And I applied for the CIA. I went there in 1980, got out in 1982. And I worked hard. I moved to Texas during my externship, worked in the best hotel. And I say this, and I'm going to walk you through what I did, just one man's journey, because I think some of the students should understand sometimes what it takes, and at least what I did. And I learned from everybody. I burnt no bridges, and I stayed in communication with people, and you'd be so surprised who 20 years later helps you, right? Because you left a good mark or a good impression, or you went the extra distance. And so I went to the Fairmont Hotel in Dallas. I worked at the Fairmont Hotel. It was the best restaurant in America. And Dallas in the 70s was just beginning, you know. You gotta understand, there was no air conditioning until, the 60s? So they were building these cities in the South quickly. And Dean Fearing, who's a great chef, one of the best in America, He worked at the Fairmont Hotel before me. We didn't know each other as young chefs. We were out a few years ago in Chicago at the restaurant Hall of Fame Awards, and I told him I worked there, and I told him I used to walk home to Love Field Airport. Now, think about it. My apartment touched the fence of an airport from a city. It was 6.5 miles. There was no bus after midnight. I made the souffles. I made pump souffles. Anyway, there was a dedication there of being so excited about learning French food. And when I was young, you cooked French food if you wanted to be a chef. Maybe Italian, but French food was the mark, and that's what they taught. Fast forward now, there's all kinds of opportunity in America for chefs. Even if it's a fast casual restaurant, it's still respected now. In order to get our marks and our creds, we had to work in the best restaurants in New York City. The beauty of this school, one of the greatest things here is now people that live in New Jersey, they can learn from some of the best chefs in America in the state. They don't have to go to New York City. And it's sad because I live in Monmouth County. I do work sometimes with Brookdale, and they have a community a culinary program. But you can't work in New York if you live down there. And you shouldn't have to go to New York to learn. So if you have the base here, which is tremendous that you built this, whoever's idea this is, and thank you all for putting it together, this is what is needed not only for the students, but for the state to be recognized as one of the greatest culinary states out there, because it has everything else. New Jersey's blessed with so many things. And for a long time, it didn't have good restaurants. And I worked in New York, and I went to school, and I was from New Jersey, and everybody was like, what exit? So I hope I have a rest stop on an exit, but I don't think so. But, and Jersey was always known as, there's no food. I worked in New York. I left New Jersey in '80, went to the CIA, went to Texas, went to Europe. I was lucky enough to go to Europe. And I worked in Norway. Not a great culinary place to work, but it opened the door for me to get to France. Went to pastry school in France. But I went to pastry school after I was a chef. I went back. I took a step back. And it's important that people understand, don't rush to be a chef. We live in an Instagram world. We live in a world that everybody wants to be a chef quickly. You have to learn. If you're an architect, learn how to build a building, learn how to build a house. You can't build a building unless you build a house. The foundation is important. And for the instructors that are here, you know what I'm talking about. The youngsters want to learn. They want to do the fancy stuff. They want to be the wide receiver first, and they want to score the touchdown. It's important that they learn the fundamentals of why you do things. I'm very creative because I understand fundamentals. You can't hang food from clotheslines unless you understand how to build a clothesline. But I developed a cake pop, and I worked in food science facilities like Firmenich and Gibadon and all the flavor houses. And New Jersey's loaded with technology, flavor houses, ingenuity, all kinds of sciences. But if you don't understand why something works together, you will never be able to do the why not. So you need to understand, why is the pickle on the hamburger? I know why. I don't know why applesauce is only served with pork chops. I don't, and it bothers me. It really does. I mean, why would it be served with fish? But we'll get to that. But one day applesauce would be sexy. Today, it's not. But understanding the science behind the food will help you be creative, and it will save you lots of time, energy, money, and you'll have more joy out of what you put together, because connecting dots in food is chemistry. Creating things, even a loaf of bread rising is chemistry. I mean, you don't realize you're involved in science, but you're doing it every day. The fermentation, yogurt, anything that dry aging beef. So there's a lot to learn. The enthusiasm, I still love cooking. I'm opening a restaurant tonight at 5:30 in Florida. So I'm jumping on a plane in a few minutes. So yes, it's work, but I love what I do, and it's really a lifestyle. For those that are here, and I know a couple instructors, and I've met some people, it becomes a lifestyle. It's different from a corporate American. I've worked in corporate too, which is how I learned business. I worked for a man named Alan Stillman, who created the first TGI Fridays. Think of that, 1966. It was a singles bar in the Upper East Side. It's where all the airline flight attendants stayed in all these apartment buildings when flight became popular. And he said, there's all these young women here. There's nowhere to drink. And he went on to create Smith Walensky. I was his partner for 10 years. And he took the company public. I was just along for the ride, but I was the culinary ambassador, the vice president. And I learned from him business, marketing, business, taking chances, no fear. You cannot have fear to fail, because if you learn something from your failure, you succeed. And there is a lot of failure in the restaurant business, and I'll tell you what happened to me many years ago. When I was a young chef, I took over the River Cafe when I was 26 years old. I was a really good cook young. I was fortunate enough to get out of high school a year early and work at a country club called Navison Country Club. My guidance counselor let me do it on the side because I had good grades and I was a sportsman, etc. So that helped me learn a lot to go to school. So those of you need to ask questions. The students need to ask questions, test things out, read. Don't just look at the pictures. You need to read. I loved what I learned today. What I learned today? Wild horses, right? That's so simple, but it means something from a logo standpoint, because you absorb these things. But I want to tell you, where was I going with this? I was telling you about. Robert De Niro's opening a restaurant in New York. His partner's a friend of mine, Drew Nearpron. He goes, we got to fly to Toronto, and we got to interview this chef. De Niro's filming a movie there. He loves this restaurant. Blah blah blah. I go with him. And a USA Today back then was on every plane. And it had the top 10 best dish in America and the worst. And mine was the worst. I had the worst dish in America. And Drew Nearpron, he owns Nobu now. He went and told everyone on the plane that was my dish. I was devastated because back then we lived by the food critic. We lived and died by a critic. I mean, they could make or break you because, New York Times, New York Magazine, USA Today. And I was so upset, and I called the restaurant. I'm like, how can I thought that was a good dish, blah, 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 blah. Went on all weekend, ruined my weekend. I was like, and we didn't have printers back then. We had to go to a printer. It was a big deal. And I flew home Monday morning. I got to New York City. I picked up New York Magazine. That dish that was the worst dish of the year was the best dish of the year in New York City. So it's a matter of opinion. So my point is, you stick to, if you understand what you're doing, mostly more than the food writers, then you stick to it. You stick to it, but you do have to take the good and the bad. We also live in a world where everyone's a critic. It might have been better back then because we only had to deal with a couple critics. Now everyone's a Yelper and a critic, and so you got to learn how to juggle that, read between the lines. If you can learn something from a bad review, you take it and you fix it. And if you can't, you can't. The good ones are good ones, but they both have to be looked at. We expect to get good ones. We need to get good ones, but the bad ones are the ones that are more important, or the constructive ones. I had gone to, like I said, I moved to New York. That's why it's great that people can work here affordably, go to school here, and get good jobs. 25 years from now, you'll have the best restaurants in the state will be in Morris County because of the school. Because you're going to teach them, they're going to get great jobs. The sous chefs go on, open their own restaurants. I've seen it because I grew up in Jersey. I see it in Monmouth County. I see it here. I've seen it in other cities. And Chicago was not a great food town 40 years ago. And that's a big city. Now it's one of the best. DC is another example of that too. But Jersey is really, and I'm a big Jersey fan. I grew up in Hazlitt, and I've always thought Jersey, and it's a beautiful state, which we do not tell anybody. And now what's going on in Monmouth County and Morris County, the growth is substantial, and people are willing to spend for food. Where years ago, you spent your money in the city. You went to the theater, you went to a show, and the expense accounts only exist in the city. Now you have them out here, especially in this community, not as much as Monmouth, because you got so many businesses which help restaurants. People spend more. People are eating out on Tuesday nights. I created a burger night years ago when I bought the Fromagerie, a restaurant I worked at in high school. Now was a dream come true. To be able to buy a restaurant that I was a cook at in high school And that's called the Red Horse. We have 3 Red Horses. One is in Bernardsville, the Bernardsville Inn, and one is in White Plains. So we're taking a brand now, and now we're going to open one in Kissimmee and another one in DC within the next 2-3 years. So that part of the business is good, but it doesn't come easily, and there's been failures. I've closed restaurants. I've had partnership disputes. So there's a lot more to cooking, a lot more to being a chef than cooking, especially these days so I like to cook. It's what I want to do. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at designing restaurants too. And by the way, the garage doors, great idea too. We just opened a bar with the doors in North Palm Beach on New Year's Eve. So I've been in Florida a lot, and as you can see, I'm not reading my speech because I didn't write one. Well, let me get through some pointers here. Hospitality. Hospitality and community are one and the same. Hospital and hospitality are the same word. It's nurturing. You're taking care of people. It's community driven. And like, the fact that you built this, when I honestly say I love hearing everybody, because everybody's into this. This is not, nobody's here because they had to be here. And you can feel it in the voices and the enthusiasm of the people that are excited to have this built. I had no idea, honestly, what it was going to be like. It was on my agenda, and I'm like, okay. And I pull up, and this is great. And I saw Lee. I saw a couple other people I know, and you have to give to get in this business. And you're giving the community something, and it's hospitality. I've always said you got to fight, you got to give. And even when we open a new restaurant, we need to work hard and give. Then it comes. There's a lot of investors in restaurants now, and they want an ROI right away. And it takes time. You got to build trust, then you can raise prices. You got to be consistent. You got to get a loyal following, and you got to work hard. It's a hard-working business. This is like farming. Farming is the hardest job I've ever seen. I've never seen people, they work 7 days a week. They've got to work, and I never could understand that. And I learned this as an adult when I went up to a farm upstate to take pictures of the farm to put in one of my restaurants, and I invited the farmer and his daughter to come down and eat. I said, listen, your picture's gonna be on a wall of you milking a cow. And they're like, we can't. I said, why not? I said, I'll send your car and all that. They're like, no, we have to work. I said, every day? She goes, yeah. And I was like, wow, I forgot. It's like having a baby for your whole life, right? But there's a commitment to excellence there, and there's a lot of joy. If you don't get joy from what you do in the restaurant business, it's too hard, right, Chef? You got to get, and that's what the addictive thing is in the restaurant business. And there's also, you think there's competitiveness, which is wonderful. Competition breeds greatness, right? Even if a restaurant opens across, the best thing for a restaurant is have somebody open across the street that's better than you or as good, because you got to get better. And that's what the community needs. And look what happened in Morristown. I was in Morristown in 1999 dating a crazy girl. I didn't know there was a place called Epstein's. But the store, there was the Callaloo Cafe was the only thing. And Desmond Lloyd, God rest, Desmond Lloyd had the Grand Cafe. And I didn't really know of Morristown. And look at it now. And it keeps growing and growing and growing. And that'll spread out. And this is going to be a wonderful addition to start feeding the restaurants and with young talent. And now they can go learn from really good restaurants. And there's Morimoto's coming. We've got the Bernards Inn. There's other great restaurants. You've got James Laird at Serenade, who worked for me in 1989 as a cocky young kid. And he's a great chef, and he's been there for a long time. And Dennis Foy, I don't know if that you guys know who he is. He was a chef that owned that restaurant in the 70s. He's older now, but he was a pioneer as a New Jersey chef, and I give him a salute. And he's really wonderful. He taught a lot of really good people. So the fact that this is built, thank you all. It'll help me because I'll be recruiting. And if you can ever use me for cooking classes or educational things in the back, I'd be more than happy to do it. And I'm excited to see that Jersey's taken culinary arts seriously. And I'm happy to be here today. And whatever I can do for the students and they want to come and learn, I'm here to help in any way. I didn't know what I was getting into today because I've been in Florida for 3 months opening and back and forth almost every weekend. So I'm happy to say that I'm enjoying being here. And I thank you, whoever got me to speak here. I'm sorry I didn't write a speech. But I hope I'm helpful. Thank you. I got to say one more thing. So back to when I was a kid, you know, being a chef was not a respected profession, right? I got flown up here 2 days ago on a private jet by a chef. A chef, Guy Fieri. What a great guy. And I had just met him 2 days earlier. So that the network stuff is working for a lot of people too. So great opportunities for all you students. Come on in. Jeff, how are you? Hi. You're an instructor. How do you do? Hi.
Come on.
Good?
Come on.
Everybody looking here? Okay, go ahead. There we go. Okay.
It's fun working here. It's always something. That wasn't on the program, I'm just saying. So thank you, Mr. Burke, for making this a truly memorable and special occasion. And now I'm pleased to welcome a CCM culinary student, Michaela Antoine. And what you should know about Michaela is a graduate of the Morris County Vocational School District, Morris County School of Technology, and which is an awesome place and a terrific partner. And I think we work together for the benefit of the students. So Michaela, where are you? Oh, Michaela.
Sorry guys, I'm a little short, so I gotta work with myself here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michaela, and I am a third-year culinary arts major here at CCM. I chose to stay with CCM because of the incredible support system that surrounds me every day. My professors, mentors consistently push me to do amazing things I would not have had the confidence to pursue without their encouragement. They see potential in me even when I don't always see it in myself. And that's made all the difference in my journey. My story at CCM actually began during my senior year of high school when I enrolled as a shared time student. I have always had a deep love for culinary, and I knew from a young age that I wanted to become a chef. So when I had the opportunity to get a head start on my future, I took it. I came to CCM not fully knowing where it would lead me, but I knew I was stepping into something that felt right. Since then, my experience has been nothing short of transformative. As a culinary student, I've had the opportunity to learn hands-on in the kitchen, refining my skills, building discipline, and gaining confidence in my craft. Beyond being a student, I've also worked as a student aide, helping support professors in different classes. That experience gave me a new perspective. It wasn't just learning anymore, I was helping others learn too. It taught me responsibility, leadership, and the importance of teamwork in a professional kitchen environment. One of my biggest achievements so far has been working a year at Walt Disney World as a trainer at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. During my time there, I worked hands-on with chefs from many different backgrounds with the culinary and hospitality industry. The experience expanded my knowledge beyond the classroom. I learned how to lead under pressure, how to maintain consistency in a high-volume service, and how to adapt to different styles and techniques. It was fast-paced, challenging, and incredibly rewarding. When I left for Disney, CCM had one kitchen and one dining room.
Coming back and seeing 2 new kitchens and an entirely new facility is truly amazing. It represents growth, not just for the program, but for us as students. These new spaces will allow us to refine our skills at an even higher level and prepare us for the evolving demands of the culinary and business industry. I'm so grateful for everything CCM has given me so far, and I'm excited for what's ahead. I look forward to continuing my education, growing as a chef, and eventually building a career where I can lead, inspire, and create unforgettable experiences through food. The support, the new facility, and the opportunities here give me confidence that my future is bright. Thank you so much and have a magical day.
Thank you, Michaela. And now, my pleasure to introduce the president of the County College Morris, Dr. Anthony Iacono, along with the executive director of institutional advancement, Ms. Kelly Miola.
Good morning. Ooh, that sounds like the weather. Good morning. Okay, I want to tell you, a year ago when Kelly and I looked at the forecast, it said sunny and warm last year. For this day, I don't know what happened. But you came out, even on a gray day with rain, and we really, really appreciate that. More importantly, you really came out for us for the past few years that it took to bring all of this together. So I want to recognize some special individuals who really, really did make that possible. And Chef, I'll answer a couple of questions of who made this happen or who did that. I'll tell you who those individuals are. But it takes a village, truly, okay? And we are one lucky county college to have the people in our community support us the way they support us. This college has thrived for more than 5 decades, and that has been to steal Commissioner Director Shaw's words, that's been our secret sauce. Let me just start off with a few recognitions. And I always save this for last, and then I forget, and then we have a remedial conversation when I get home. So I want to, slow learner, you think after 25 years I'd figure it out. But I want to thank, 25 years of doing this, not the marriage. But I want to thank my wife, Debbie, who gives up a lot and supports our college in so many ways. And she is here today, and our daughter flew in from Florida last night. Chef, she's leaving tonight. So maybe you'll see her on the plane, or who knows. My wife and I we're not even sure if she came here to see us. We're pretty sure she came to see Donna Pepe. Today, I think that's actually what happened, because I heard in the week Mary's coming to see us, which we have 4 children. That made us so excited to see her. But she said, but she's leaving in less than 24 hours. Like, we will hardly see her. So we're not sure, but we're just so happy she is here. We're really, really ecstatic. She's actually the reason we're in New Jersey, because when she was a high school student, she wanted to go to Rutgers badly. And we kept saying, can't you go in-state, go to the University of Florida State, go in-state. And we came up here to take a trip. And then I got the job offer and said, Mary, great news. We're all going to New Jersey. And she said, I'm going to Gainesville. And so we all came except for her. But we're thrilled to have her here today and supporting our school and being a part of this as well. I also put at the end too often, but I want to thank our Executive Director of Institutional Advancement, who worked so hard to make all this happen, put this together, Kelly Miola, and our Events Director, Colleen McCardle, and their extended team, which includes public safety and plant maintenance, and our guys from media who video all of this as well. They just do a bang-up job all the time. We're really, really lucky to have them. And then in my office, Joanne Hughes and Mary Earl, who pull all the loose strings together and just do anything and everything necessary to make that happen. So we just really, really appreciate them. Now, this is taking years, literally. Tom, I remember one of the first conversations when we did the manufacturing building also included Dr. Champagne. They were thinking about your school then, because they provide great and extensive support there. They're just always doing everything they can to maximize opportunities for students. And we continue to grow and thrive because of that. And our state legislators as well. And I tell students all the time, they're back in the kitchen and you're gonna really enjoy what they've created for you. But we are so lucky. I always say Morris County is the jewel of New Jersey. It is the diamond. And they're the people who have so much to do with why I say that. I'm lucky. At home here or in Trenton, they bat hard for us. They work hard for us, and they work hard all year long, not just during budget season. They are very verbal about us. They get us, and they're so nice. But if you get on the wrong side and you mess with their college or their communities, they will eat your lunch to make sure everyone here is taken care of, and our students have unbelievable opportunities. So Senator Bucco and Assemblywoman Dunn and Assemblyman Ganamore and our newest member of the Assembly, Assemblywoman Sweeney, thank you so much. I get to see you here. It's literally a joy to work with you, but the passion you bring everywhere for us and the fight you do in Trenton for us and who you've brought to our campus, we would not be sitting in this room point blank if it weren't for that. This is not, as Leader Bucco said, this is not easy. This takes a lot of work to do. He's gracious in saying we make his job easier. I don't know about that, but they deliver big for us all the time. We would not be here if it wasn't for our commissioner board. We are in continuous conversation all the time, as we are with our legislators. And there's one conversation: what's best for our students? How do we do more for our students? What's best for Morris County? You couldn't be in a better conversation. What would possibly be a better conversation? They bring great ideas forward. They're great listeners, but they work so hard with us. We've been telling our students continuously, and this year in particular, we needed some added support, and our commissioner board stepped up and provided that added support so tuition could remain as low as possible. We're a great economic value. As Chef Burke came in and we had said we're about 12,000 credit and non-credit students, and for about $12,000 for the entire degree, you can launch a spectacular career. Now that's a powerful ROI. Right? We're not in the business of, and when you're done, you will have a student loan to last for life. That's not us. You're going to have a great career and a great life, and it's going to be affordable, but you're going to really be able to do some extraordinary, extraordinary things. Without them, we couldn't do those things. That would absolutely be impossible. So thank you. Here at home with our commissioner board, in Trenton, we know you're here also. And then we have our mayors and our council members that, again, it takes a lot of people. So Mayor Forstenhauser and our board in Randolph, all these plans, all these permits, your advocacy, the water gets turned on. There's so many things that you do to make this happen, and we see that. We appreciate that enormously. We don't overlook it at all. And then I live up in the woods in Mount Olive, and I know we have Myrna Castro and Lisa Brett here with us, and they are just promote the daylights out of us up there and encourage people on that end of the county. But across Morris County, our secret sauce is we have amazing people batting hard for us, and it makes a quantum difference. I have, and I'll start answering your question, the best board of trustees you could ever find. They are smart, they are caring, they're engaged, and they're pushy. And I get that all the time. So when we sat down earlier talking to someone about this day a long time ago and what it would entail, our trustee, Donna Pepe, had said, you need to bring in a great chef who's known to everybody. We're like, oh, she's like, and I don't just mean anybody. You need to get somebody huge. You need to get David Burke. And we had said, oh, I don't know if that could happen. I don't know, how the heck would that even happen? And she had gone out there talking to your folks and advocating, and our folks here were out talking to other, you got quite a team. They said they were great. And the next thing you know, I get a phone call saying, he's coming. We couldn't believe it. But we just dispatched an army, starting with one of our executive board members. And we are so honored. And your talk was spectacular. It was inspiring and engaging. And I know our students who heard it are going to take that with them for life and be able to do a lot as well. I think it gave us all a considerable amount to reflect on and to grow from as well. Where does this come from? In the back. Chef, you want to give a wave? Mark Cosgrove. The concepts, Mark is great chef. He's a tremendous leader, and I blame him for every time my cabinet gets mad at me, because every time Mark comes up with dangerous ideas, I just say yes, and I go back and tell my cabinet, we have this great idea Mark talked to me about, and we're going to do this. Like, Tony, there's fire code laws. You and Mark cannot have an open fire going on in that way. And I'll say, all right, you got to figure it out some way or another, because we're going to need that fire. And every man in the room right now goes, that I agree with that. Fire is a really good thing, but makes people nervous a lot. But Mark gets us to good places. Our new hearth would be out there. So our cauldron would be out there. And Mark's going to do a series for the 250th anniversary of America of colonial cooking that people will be able to watch and so forth. And hopefully we don't get letters from moms saying, and my budding chef burned down the house because Chef Cosgrove likes open fire. Hopefully not. Mark comes up with great ideas, dangerous ideas. He's launched a lot and has expanded our culinary program exponentially over and over. He and his team are remarkable. And then in the back also, our department chair, Mark is our department chair for culinary sciences. And in the back, our department chair for our business program, Dr. Ford, is with us as well with some of our faculty. They work so hard. They have wonderful imaginations, and they push us to do really, really great things. And I have a tremendous cabinet who brings great things to life. We're not GE, but frankly, we do bring great things to life and do some really, really cool things. And then community partners. Let me tell you, when these buildings are coming out of the ground, I tell my cabinet all the time, in the community, people say, I saw a new building. What is that? What is this? Don't talk to them about the buildings. Talk to them about impact. Tell them about the extraordinary things the buildings were built to do, because that's the sustainable, that's the durable part. And that's what we're about at this college, changing lives and strengthening communities. That's the core of what we've been about since the first building came out of the ground. Talk to them about that. And Megan Huncher talked to you a little bit as our president for the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. And they'll be right here in the building. When you do tours, you'll see their office spaces. We will be that community college outdistancing universities by bringing 1,000 global, national, state, and local companies right here. Think about the opportunities for the students. Think about the internships. Think about the partnerships. They will learn from the very best. As Chef says, this is how it has to happen, right? They're going to get an extraordinary education in the classroom, but they're going to work with world-class leaders and really learn a craft from them that will endure and take them far, far beyond anything they could have ever imagined. Having one of the, first of all, we are ranked as one of the top 25 culinary programs in the Eastern United States with CIA and other very prestigious schools. Our business programs are ranked. But now to have that extra booster underneath it is going to make a powerful, powerful impact. Watch the social media, watch your mail. When you see what the Chamber of Commerce is bringing in here and how we're partnering with them and what that will do for our students first and the community afterward, it is extraordinary. It is absolutely explosive in the very, very best of ways. We're excited about that. That's the impact that we're talking about. Launching business, strengthening business, being a part of that vibrant restaurant industry that we all love so much. Hey, whether I'm at Morristown Medical Center, which is extraordinary, and students come up and say, I'm a graduate of CCM, makes me feel great. By the way, I wasn't the patient when that happens. Makes me feel great. I'd probably feel great if I was the patient still. And where I go to one of our wonderful restaurants and somebody comes over and introduces themselves, be it the chef or somebody else in that, and says, I graduated from CCM, makes me feel great. That's our commitment to the community. That's what we do really, really well, and we'll continue to do that even more well. This building for me is really personal. More than 100 years ago, my grandparents stepped off boats from Sicily, and what did they do? They opened restaurants, and they opened businesses, and they flourished. And that was inspiring to me, right? A lot of Italians in the room today, you know, we learn to cook. Somebody gets out a rickety chair in the kitchen, they put the yellow pages on it. Younger kids have no idea what that is, right? Safety wasn't the biggest concern to these folks, and you learn to start making sauces, soups, and so forth at a very, very young age. It's the passion. Food is always at the heart of business, of diplomacy, of relationships. More than a great meal, it brings us together. It forges all that we aspire to be able to do. And to have that right here, think about students in that culinary program, planning the events that the Chamber will be bringing in, preparing the meals for them, learning how this works, doing the marketing. This is not an ordinary education. This is going to be extraordinary for our students without a doubt. So you're sitting in a building. And please, don't bolt out afterward. Take the time to do the little tour, go through the kitchens, enjoy the food that Chef Cosgrove and his students have prepared. See the rooms that are in here. Check out the Chamber's new space. But think about what it took. And let me tell you, in a minute, and Kelly Miola is going to talk to you about an unveiling we're doing, a naming of this room, just doubles down on how lucky we are as a community to have people who say, I believe in this college, I believe in those students, I believe in this community, and I want them to have the greatest opportunity. Donors make a difference. People who come out and give their gifts, their time, their talent, make a difference. We're built on that. So I always say, we're not that school that has the $1 billion endowment. We are that school that has a tremendous community behind us. And for that, I am very, very thankful. And I'm happy to introduce also our Executive Director of Institutional Advancement, Kelly Miola.
To close out our amazing event today, I have the honor and opportunity to celebrate and recognize Tom and Donna Pepe, two individuals who committed themselves to CCM year over year as part of the Board of Trustees, through countless marketing efforts, and part of the CCM Foundation Board. As many of you know, Tom Pepe was a leader here at CCM, a former Board of Trustees chair, a dedicated member of the Foundation Board of Directors, a trusted friend, and a reliable ear for advice and guidance for many of us. Donna is an integral leader for us today. She has provided countless hours of support and guidance on rebranding efforts of the college to attract not only students, but the attention of our community right here in the county and well beyond our borders. Donna serves as a board member and a liaison to the Foundation Board of Trustees, reminding us that leaders can and will extend themselves for the missions they truly believe in. Tom and Donna, as a couple and as individuals, appreciate culture and good food. Whether it's the excitement of a Broadway show or the delight of an unforgettable meal, they celebrate experiences that bring people together. So in gratitude for their enduring support of the college and their meaningful contributions to the CCM Foundation, we are thrilled to name this space the Tom and Donna Pepe Pavilion, the vibrant hub of the Center for Entrepreneurship and Culinary Science here at CCM. Each time we look at their names, we will be reminded of how these two good people believe in CCM, believe in our work, and believe in our students. Donna, it is truly an honor to recognize you and Tom today and to acknowledge how you, Tom, and your sons have been part of the fabric of the CCM family for decades. Thank you for all you've done for CCM and for our entire community. I now invite Donna and the Pepe family and friends to join us in the building entrance vestibule for the unveiling of the Tom and Donna Pepe Pavilion. We encourage you all to join us as well.
Donna, you've inspired our school over and over again. We have programs here because of you that wouldn't be here. We have buildings that wouldn't be here. We have rooms that wouldn't be here. And what you and Tom have given our school is so far beyond the norm. It's extraordinary. So it gives me enormous pleasure and very, very personal to be able to dedicate this space, the hub of this building, the heart of this building, with great, great, great appreciation for what you and Tom have continuously brought and continuously inspired us in as well. So, Kelly.
Yeah, Donna, you want to help too? Yeah, go ahead, pull it right down.
1, 2, 3.
There you go. Yay!
I want to say thank you for this. It's an unbelievable honor. I'm a little emotional, but this started 10 years. Well, 10 years ago when entrepreneur wasn't even in the subject line. It was just culinary. So so now we're at the entrepreneur level, and I can't tell you how much this school has changed over the 10 years that I've been involved in it. Honestly, I knew I said I wasn't going to cry, but I'm sorry. Anyway, it's really impressive, and I'm so happy that my late husband and I have been able to help in whatever ways we could to make this possible. Lauren said that Tom served as chair, but he was actually on the board when Ed was president, and went over to when Tony came on. In fact, was part of the whole recruiting of Tony. So I have actually been involved for many years, even though I've only been on the board for 4 years. I've actually been involved with the school and creating a new branding, new logos. I mean, one of the happiest days of my life was seeing a truck with my logo, my new logo on it. I mean, so, it's just amazing to me. But, like so many of the students who attend this college, oops, this is a lot of water. I came from similar background, I came from a lower middle class environment. My father was a blue collar worker. He was a fireman for New York City. My family had like basically no money to go to college. I got scholarships and worked a lot of jobs in order to be able to pay for school, and got out and got a degree and got a job and worked full time while I was still going to college my last year, just to be able to afford room and board and to go out and party, of course. And so, so I have a lot in common with everybody, all the students that go here. And, it's so funny because when I first, when I was a kid, my parents, my grandparents were all in Brooklyn. They came from Brooklyn. And so my uncle had a luncheonette, which nobody even knows what a luncheonette is anymore. It's like a diner, but it's in the city. And so I was in charge of flipping the burgers and taking the French fries out of the grease and working the soda fountain and stuff like that when I was like 9 or 10 or 11. And then working with my grandparents in the kitchen on Sundays, making food, and watching them argue about if the raisins should go in the meatballs or whatever. Anyway, that's how I learned a lot about cooking. And then when I got married and was working and had kids, my kids became my sous chefs. So I would be calling in in the car when we finally had cell phones in the car, like saying, this is what you have to do. You have to cut this up, or you have to do this, or you have to set whatever. So my kids have learned their way around the kitchen. Both my sons are pretty good cooks now, I have to say. And they definitely know their way around a tasting menu and a wine list. So, yeah, and I started my own company. I had 3 companies actually that I started, and the last one I shut down in when I was 60, so 14 years ago. And there was no such thing as entrepreneurship back then, and it was very hard for women to get into business, to start businesses. Banks did not loan you money. I went to many banks where I had a lot of money in, and they said no loans. And so I just learned by the seat of my pants, and through a couple of mentors who were men in the business. And the next thing I knew, I had a successful business. I mean, it took a long time, don't kid yourself, but it was really great and really rewarding. So I'm excited to see the two, entrepreneurship and culinary combined, because it's a perfect place for this pavilion of ours to be. And I look forward to having a lot of fun in this pavilion over the years. And I already have some ideas on what we could do to raise money in this pavilion. So to be discussed. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming in. Thanks to my family and friends for being here. Thanks.
Thank you. And again, the inspiration is, I say pushy, but I mean inspirational. Wow, we've accomplished a lot together.